ass, who fire, who trash. Hey,
There's a lot going down. You got somebody up in the blicky on somebody.
Squadkast TV, man. Hit that like, subscribe, all that good shit, man.
Yo, Squadkast TV, we here. DJ the Capo, Conscious Capo, the modest one, okay? My brother Springz TV is not in the building. Obviously, this is a Thursday during the work week. It is actually almost 3 o'clock, so my brother's actually working, you know what I'm saying? Plus, I told you I had a blog anyway that I was going to do, and here we are. So please make sure to like button, subscribe to the channel. The road to 2K is on the way. Can we get to 2K before the end of the year? Before 2026, can we get to 2K? December 31st, we should be at 2K. We are over 1,600 subscribers. We need like 300 and some subscribers. Let's go. All right. Salute to all the subscribers that we do got. We definitely appreciate y'all. Salute to the future subscribers. We're definitely looking forward to seeing y'all. All right. With all that being said, salute to all the mods. Big Mob Mafia. You know what I'm saying? Bryce, Iowa Block Radio. Double V, the first lady of Squadkast TV. Please make sure y'all run the numbers up. Will, the creator of the URL app with 1 L, not 2. All right. The creator of the app. $7.99 app gang. Get the app, become a member, all that good stuff. You will see all the battles that have been dropping, and you get to watch them in a lot. Okay, in a lot at your own leisure. No commercials, no ads, no nothing. Huh? I think that's a good deal for $7.99. You feel me? Crown Vic, Victorious Life Network. Please run them numbers up, okay? K-Town, Kenny Lewis, AJ, Squadkast TV, Battle Rap Reporter. You know what I'm saying? Support them guys. You know what I'm saying? We definitely appreciate all our mods. Once again, salute to all the heavyweights that rock with us, huh? Harlem Legend was in the building yesterday. Definitely was in the chat talking about, you know, gave us his insight on female battle rap and things of that nature. Salute to Harlem Legend. Make sure y'all go run them numbers up. Salute the 050 the movement. You know what I'm saying? Piper Boy Williams, DNA Tooth, Danny Lux, Married to the Bars, Greg the Great, that whole conglomerate over there. Caps, you know what I'm saying? All the battlers that ever gave us interviews, all the battlers who watch the content, you know what I'm saying? We definitely appreciate y'all. All right. Now that I got the pleasantries out the way, let's go. Is this really Summer Madness? Is this really Summer Madness? Is this really Summer Madness? Salute to them good people over at URL. Salute to Smack. Salute to Beasley. Salute to Chico. You know what I'm saying? Salute to all the staff over at URL. But we got to talk. We definitely got to talk because this is looking like nasty work. This is looking like nasty work. Salute to URL. The Summer Madness 15 will be in London. Salute to our UK bruvs. Wait, a matter of fact, salute to all the countries that rock with us. Okay, we could be seen from Italy to Ukraine, from Jamaica to Spain. Okay, our UK bruvs. You know what I'm saying? And Greece and all the other countries. We get so many new countries that rock with us. It's not even funny. You know what I'm saying? North Korea, South Korea. I don't know which Korea it was. Japan, salute to y'all. You know what I'm saying? All the countries. We are definitely worldwide. Okay. Squadkast TV is worldwide. I don't be up here trying to, you know what I'm saying, be all arrogant and cocky and shit like that. I am very humble. You know what I'm saying? I am very humble. But I'm also going to let y'all know the work we put in. We came up off this channel with something totally different. We had 202 subscribers and have grown it to where you see it now and still growing the channel. You know what I'm saying? Put in a lot of work out the mud, not a paid subscriber, not a paid view, not a paid promo, nothing. Nobody gave us a push. Nobody. We might get a push now. Salute to Danny Lux, you know what I'm saying? And Piper Boy Williams, who shouted us out, and a couple other people who actually shouted us out because we know who sets the trends. We know how some of these matchups got booked off of our platform. You know what I'm saying? They talking about Muwap and Kid Slade right now. I wonder where that came from. Okay, so get in tune with the get in tune. All right, I don't like to really do that, but we got URL. This 4-battle Summer Madness 15 is a fucking far cry than what y'all used to give back in the day. 4 battles. 4 battles. There has not been any new announcements. Now, I have been light on URL because I understand what's going on, right? And I said it in the last show. I'm going to say it again, right? You have Bulletproof, who has a lot of names. A lot of names. You know what I'm saying? Some would say stars or top tier, whatever. That card that's going down this Saturday, September 13th, is jam-packed. So you're in a deficit as far as talent pool is concerned, right? Not to mention you're probably trying to get out of rotating the same battlers that we keep seeing. So now you got a small talent pool and you're trying to get away from rotating the same battlers. So then it goes to, well, let's see who's available. Let's see who has a passport, and let's see who can actually leave the country, because we booked this in London. This is crazy. This is crazy. I did my due diligence. I'm going to run down every Summer Madness card from 1 until 15. And I guarantee you that none of them was 4 battles. None. I guarantee you. Summer Madness 1. Math versus Calico. Verb versus Clips. DNA versus X Factor. Conceited versus T-Rex. Hitman Holla versus Hollow the Don. And Surf versus Sue Surf versus K-Shine. Free to Wave. That's Summer Madness 1. Shout out to my bro Springz. He was at Summer Madness 1. He was there. Okay. Summer Madness 2. You got Loaded Lux versus Cal. Sirius Jones versus Charlie Clips. T-Rex versus A-Verb. DNA versus E-Ness. And Murder Mook versus Iron Solomon. That's 5 battles. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Summer Madness 3. Big T versus O-Red. Calico versus T-Rex. Arsenal versus K-Shine. Mav Hoffa versus Sirius Jones. That's where the came into play, right? JC versus John the Don. Rock versus Tay Rock versus Ill Will. And Daylight versus Swave Sever. That is Summer Madness 3. That is not 4 battles. Oh, I got to flip the page because, you know, we got notes. Summer Madness 4. You got Rex versus Clips. Tay Rock versus DNA. Conceited versus B Magic. Head Ice versus K Shine. John the Don versus A-Verb. And Sue Surf versus Hitman Holla. If you want to speak to the inmate, press 9. Right? That's Summer Madness 4. Summer Madness 5. Loaded Lux versus Clips. I had Lux winning personally. You know what I'm saying? Don't disrespect the Clips back then. T-Rex versus T-Top. T-Top was fresh off of Rookies versus Vets and another event before he got Summer Madness. He was the first out of his class. Briz, Chess, they snuck Mr. Wavy in there, Saga. He was the first in his class to be on Summer Madness versus Rex. Then you got Tay Rock versus Calico. Y'all remember the Tay Rock versus Calico? You know what I'm saying? With the whole breakfast scheme that Rock had. You know, Craig Daddy in the yard. I was all over that dog shit. You know what I'm saying? Summer Madness 5, right? Miss Hustle versus Official. John the Don versus Mr. Wavy. Once again, Mr. Wavy was not in T-Top and class. They tried to sneak him in there. He was the class before. Okay? And then you have the 2-on-2. DNA and K-Shine versus Steams and Chess. Okay? Summer Madness 6. Hollow the Don, you know that, versus Tay Rock. JC versus Rum Nitty. JC, put the 5 on the glass like an inmate visit. What? Come on, man. Hitman Holla versus K Shine. We already know what happened with that. T-Top versus Av. Calico versus Briz. Twerk versus Cortez. That's not 4 battles. Rex, Summer Madness 7. Summer Madness 7. T-Rex versus Reed Dollars. Hitman Holla versus Tay-Rock. Mav Hoffa versus Av. JC versus Iron Solomon. DNA versus New Jersey Twerk. And Geechee Gotti versus Shotgun Suge. This is the battle when they was in Vegas. And this is where Twerk was up there talking about he don't give a fuck about the DNA battle when he was up there choking and messing up the battle in front of Floyd and the Money Team and all that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we remember. We remember. And Rex and Reed was a letdown. It was 2 old brothers that used to be good, that should have battled in their prime, and then when they did battle on Summer Madness 7, that shit was ass. Hitman and Rock and Suge and Geechee pretty much saved that joint. All right? Summer Madness 8 in London. This is in London. So you're spinning the block, right? Look what your card was the first time you was in London. You had Hollow the Don versus John the Don. Obviously, that's a grudge match. We all know what came with that as far as the fight and all this other shit, the battle of the names. Okay. Tay-Rock versus Pat Stay. Rest in peace, Pat Stay, right? T-Top versus Iron Solomon. Arsenal versus New Jersey Twerk. That's probably the best Arsenal I've seen, and that's probably one of the rare times where I literally looked at Twerk and he was getting his ass kicked. Then you had Rum Nitty versus Geechee Gotti and Soul versus Gemini. Those are 2 UK battlers out there that was already they associated with a different league that SmackDown put on the card. All right. Summer Madness 9. Wait. Summer 9. It didn't happen. We didn't get Summer Madness 9. We got Summer fucking Impact. That's what we got. Next page. And it wasn't 4 battles, I can tell you that much. Summer Madness 10, goddammit. John the Don versus Ill Will. T-Top versus B-Dot. K-Shine versus Chess. Geechee Gotti versus Charlie Clips. Reed Dollars versus Rum Nitty. I couldn't believe Rum Nitty lost that battle. And A-Verb versus Cal, which was a dope battle. I wasn't mad at that. Summer Madness 11. Geechee Gotti versus Cal. Hollow the Don versus K-Shine. Easy the Block Captain makes his appearance, y'all, versus Chess. Instant classic. We're not even going to debate that. Instant classic. No debate. Murder Mook versus Reed. Yeah, that's how I felt too. Sue Surf versus John the Don. John, you was calling for that surf battle for fucking years. For years. And you went out there and got your ass beat. You got cooked. Hibachi. Benihana. It wasn't even close. And then you go interview somebody about, I wasn't motivated. I fell in love. I fell out the love of the sport for the culture. Shut up. Shut up. You making excuses. Shut up. Might want to hear that shit. And then you got Arsenal versus Lou Castro. That battle, this is why people think Lou Castro is so fire. It's because of that battle right there. All he did was a bunch of nothing and was ad-libbing through Arsenal's rounds. Yeah, put me on your Instagram. Yeah. And y'all loved it. Y'all loved it. Y'all damn near said he won off extra shit. Not actual bars, because when he actually raps, he can rap, but the bars ain't there. The bars is ass. That's why they call this man Lose Castro, because he don't win battles. And then they gave you like a little PG Crucibles type battle when you had MVP versus Real Name Brandon. Summer Madness 11 wasn't 4 battles. Summer Madness 12, A-Verb versus Hollow the Don, Danny Myers versus Fonz, Tay Rock versus Swamp. I turn these Dior's into Swamp boots. You know what I'm saying? And all the raccoon bars. Surf versus JC. JC was calling for Surf just like John was. You showed up wearing some buffs and a big ass Amiri hoodie. I ain't gonna hold you. Your first round was fire, in my opinion. The way that you came at Surf, no Diddy, with the let's play swear to God, the whole PPP loan, and the Surf got his hands in everything except for the people that shot him and all that. Crazy fire. After that, you know, it got so bad, JC, that you started pop locking and dancing like Omarion and B2K and all the other. You was up there doing all that. What are you doing? Doing a battle? You was up there doing it for Lil Saint. Is that what it was? You was said, fuck, I'm gonna just do it for Lil Saint. I'm getting my ass kicked. Chess versus Shotgun Suge. We seen what that was like. Chess went up there and got his ass kicked. Suge 30, wasn't even no debate. Easy, the block captain versus Calico, and then they snuck in another little PG battle. So Flair Soul versus Zeta Dropout, aka Zezus. All right. Summer Madness 13. Rum Nitty versus Ace Amin. Disaster versus Real Sick. This is what Diz was saying, the N-word and the saying N-word, and he was trying to school Real Sick on how to be a Arab and all of that. And they both had lineage bars. It got kind of cringeworthy. I ain't gonna hold you. DNA versus Jerry West. Oh my God. Talk about somebody that got their ass kicked. Jerry West beat the shit out of DNA. Shit like that. If you seen the battle, you know what I'm talking about. If you seen the battle, you know what that shit means. Okay, Jerry went up there and won off of extras, ad libs, and he had fire bars. Every time DNA thought he did well, Jerry West eclipsed him. And actually, that was the last time we seen a good Jerry fucking West. Tay Rock versus Ab, that was a letdown. Didn't really get crazy, you know what I'm saying? Twerk versus Hollow the Don, Fonz versus Shotgun Suge. Talk about a fucking letdown. Fonz beat the shit out of Shotgun Suge. It wasn't even close. And T-Top versus John the Don. Summer Madness 14. Oh, wait. Did we get a Summer Madness 14? Or did we get fucking Kings versus Queens? I think we got Kings versus Queens personally. That went down on September 14th, 2024, almost a year to the date of Summer Madness 15 that goes down next weekend. I said almost, not exact. You got Tay Rock versus Jazz. That was the first time I ever seen Tay Rock get his ass beat by a female like that to where you got 30, bro. Geechee Gotti versus Miss Hustle. T-Top versus Official. Twerk versus 40 Bars, John the Don versus Coffee Brown, and Rum Nitty versus Vixen Assassin. And I had Vixen Assassin winning that battle. So Summer Madness 1, all the way up to Summer Madness, Kings versus Queens, aka Summer Madness 14. We had multiple battles, nothing under 5. Now we get the Summer Madness fucking 15, and we got Rock versus Fonz, and Loaded Lux versus Twerk, and Shoddy Horror versus Geechee Gotti, and T-Top versus A-Ward. Does this feel like Summer Madness? Is this Summer Madness? Summer Madness coming. Calico running. Conceded 5-4 and still. Is that what this is? Not to me. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not jacking this shit. Am I gonna watch it? Of course. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna support the coach. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna do the recap. We're gonna do a pre-show. Okay, we're gonna do final predictions before the event and all that, right? But that don't mean that I'm not able to come up here on the platform and express my displeasurements or displeasures about the card compared to all the other Summer Madnesses I just gave y'all. I didn't think that we would get to this point in battle rap where we would get a 4-battle Summer Madness. And if they sneak a surprise battle win on there, which they are fully capable of doing, I'm still gonna be pissed because it should have been at least 5 battles, and then you with the surprise battle, it would have gave us 6. That would have been like 5 battles is a good Summer Madness, right? 6 battles, depending on who they are, I'm good with that too. As long as we don't have no long ass intermissions and all that other shit, I'm good. I'm good, baby. But to give us 4 battles and expect the consumer to go crazy over this shit, this is nasty work. Now, once again, I do understand. I am a businessman. I understand what's going on. You have to go with what's available, who has a passport, who can leave the country when you need them to be there at that specific date with their 3 rounds ready to go. And the fact that y'all can only get 8 people is a far cry from what URL used to be. And this is scaring me because TBL about to put on Bulletproof, Hitman Holler versus Murder Mook, which actually should be a URL on the URL card, but it's not. I'm hearing TBL about to put on another big event in November. Oh, in November. What are we doing, URL? Y'all are the NBA of battle rap. Y'all are starting to look like the G League. No disrespect. Y'all been not too many companies and leagues can go around and say to have a basically like the equivalent of a PLE as far as wrestling, premium live event. Summer Madness 15 will be considered a premium live event. Not too many companies or leagues can say they have the longevity that URL has to where they can put on a Summer Madness 15 and a Gnome whatever and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. That is hard work, dedication, and grind. I get it. But to go from that to give us 4 battles is nasty work. Nasty work. Hit the comments. Let me know what y'all think. I'm not jacking this. It's nasty work. I am scared of what's going to happen moving forward. If we're getting this type of shit. 4 battles. 4 battles on a major event. Summer Madness ain't nothing you just sneeze at. This isn't a Survivor Series. This ain't a redemption. This ain't banned. This is fucking Summer Madness we're talking about. And to get 4 battles is nasty work. Hit the comments. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Become a member. I'm out.